It's dawn at Taru Rescue Center in Narok County. A buzz of early morning activities ushers in yet another day in this safe haven for many girls. In a room on the far end of the sleeping area, Mercy Letura is already dressed up. Her sister Agnes is in the room right across from hers, also getting ready for the day. Taru Center has been home for the sisters since 2011, when their own home turned unsafe. This is the story of two courageous Maasai girls who did all it took to defy a painful tradition. For a long time, the conservative Maasai community has practiced female circumcision, observing it as a rite of passage into womanhood. In 2011, at a village up the valleys of Ngoilale sub-location in Narok, the family of the then 12-year-old Mercy and 11-year-old Agnes was preparing them for the ritual. But having heard about the perils of FGM in church and school, the girls were convinced they did not want to go through it. They needed to escape.
We came out of our home on Wednesday, but we talked about this issue on Sunday. We told our pastor that the following week we are being circumcised and we are not ready for that. And so he was aware, and that's where we got help, because the pastor told our chief, the chief told the DO.
But their relief that help was on the way would turn to be short-lived.
It was like, it was in the morning, where before Wednesday, the pastor told us that we should go to the chief at around 6:37. When we went there, the chief told us, I knew the story, but our parents knew that we have already run out of home, and they came to the chief. No, they talked with the chief. I don't know what happened. The chief gave us back to our parents. So that night was like, we were just crying. We were almost circumcised at night. But I could not speak at that moment because they were saying that I'm the one taking the younger. So I just kept quiet, and that is when she talked now. She told our parents that we should not be circumcised at night. It is awkward. Just wait till morning and you should circumcise us. And they agreed. They woke us up at 5. But we told them that we are going nowhere, just relax. You'll circumcise us even at 10, 11. At 6 again, they woke us up. And we woke up, we went outside, stood for about 30 minutes.
And when it got to time to milk the cows, their hearts would beat even faster, as this is significant.
Always in the morning, in the morning, they have to milk the cows. So, and after milking, that is when the sun rises, that is when the first person is to be circumcised.
We just had 3 cows because it was drought season, and we are pastoralists, so they are moving with their animals. So the 3 animals remained for milking purposes. So the first animal was milked, second one, and the third one, the last one now. I felt like it was my last moment. I was asking God, if it is for your will for me to undergo this, let it happen. But at that moment, that is when the police arrived. Yeah, and we got safe.
The girls had come within a whisker of mutilation, and while the police rescued them in the nick of time, their relationship with their parents would forever be tainted.
Now mom started abusing us. It is okay just to go. Never call us, never say we are your parents, things like that. But for that time, we were happy because at least, it was just the last cow. My dad was saying, if I know anyone supporting these girls, I'll kill them.
And thus, with the help of the local administration and church, the two managed to escape circumcision. And it was double victory for the elder sister Mercy, who evaded more than just the cut.
I personally, I was to go back to school up to class 8, then get married. But I think my sister was maybe to go beyond there. They have even paid their dowry. The men who were supposed to take me, the one who was supposed to marry me, had paid their dowry. And so I was aware. Yeah, I know even the guy. I felt like being hated, rejected, because my elder sister were not, they were not married yet, but I was to get married first before them. I was like, I'm not part of their family.
And so they bid Ngoilale farewell, heading into a world without the burden of circumcision and early marriage. They would stay in police custody in Narok town for 3 days, waiting for a safe refuge. The girls soon found a new family in Taru Center, which was founded in 2002, opening its doors to girls around the Maasai community who needed a safe place after fleeing subjection to FGM.
Vile tulifika huku, bado tulikuwa tunaogopa. Bado na minds za home. But sasa vile tulipata watu wenye tunashare the same stories, they undergo the same process. So wakatu encourage, wakatuambia they were like us. So at least we got encouraged and ndo tukazoea kukaa huko.
The campaign to end this extreme form of violence on girls is one that is dear and personal to the founder of the center, Agnes Pareyo.
I grew up hating it, though I was forcefully cut because my mom was crazy. She didn't know what to say or what to be calling me. That's what she said. But my dad supported me. And then all of a sudden, the story changed to be that I was a coward. We started addressing this issue after seeing that realizing that so many girls were dropping from school to be married off. Because immediately after the cut, you are pronounced a woman. Then the next place for a woman is her husband's place, despite your age.
And while the center condemns and raises awareness against FGM, Pareyo says they are keen to observe some of the positive traditions of the Maasai culture.
So I bring these girls up, looking at our culture and the values of our people, because we don't want to say that all our culture is bad. What we are trying to say, the cut itself is bad for these reasons, and we give reasons as to why it's bad.
And so for 6 years, the Letura sisters have lived with and called sisters hundreds of other girls who have lived in the center. Tasaru means a rescue in the local Ma language. It's Saturday, the 3rd of December 2016, and the sisters are hours away from reuniting with their family after 6 years. Tasaru endeavors to reconcile the girls with their families once they commit to not subjecting them to FGM.
We came up with the reconciliation process because in our culture there is a belief of that your parents can curse you. So, like today, we'll take a blanket, we'll take sheets, so that the parents can be happy and welcome the girl back, so that as she grows, she will not be having a problem saying, oh, my father did not bless me.
I just feel happy going back to my people, to where I belong, see them again. I've missed them. I'm just happy about it.
Mimi nafurahia kurudi nyumbani, kuona watu wetu, imekuwa long tangu tuachane. So I just wish to go back and see them, but I'm not that safe when it is coming to staying with them. I'm not ready because, you know, even stepsister is already circumcised. Last day she was circumcised and we are still here. So you see, our dad is not ready to leave that.
The day is here. Inside the center, the girls are having final preparations for the journey back home. Their friends are helping them, all of them anxious. It was not a warm goodbye when they left. They're not sure it will be a warm welcome back. As Agnes and Mercy leave the door of what has been a safe haven for them for the last 6 years, they are mixed with a lot of feelings. They are hopeful that their parents will be as happy to meet and reconcile with them as they are. They're also a bit anxious as they're not sure exactly how this encounter will turn out to be. The 2.5-hour bumpy drive to Ngoilale begins. The reconciliation ceremony will happen at their father's home. He has 2 wives. Agnes and Mercy's mother lives in a separate homestead. As the girls approach Ngoilale Center, their mother, Naisuyasu Letura, is by the roadside. She has been waiting here since dawn. The emotions overwhelm her. Naisuyasu is carrying her granddaughter, born of her other daughter. This is the first time Mercy and Agnes are meeting their niece. No words can describe this moment for the sisters. The baby may need more time to warm up to the strangers, but Naisuyasu knows how lucky she is to see her daughters again. The journey continues. At the center, we make a crucial stop. When Mercy and Agnes were running away from the cart, they came to seek help from the pastor of this church. He is the very same pastor who's conducting the service here today. The reconciliation process begins here. Among the women and girls in the congregation are survivors of female genital mutilation. The church has been one of the pillars supporting the positive winds of change to the harmful practice. The 2014 Kenya Demographic and Health Survey estimated the prevalence of FGM among the Maasai to be 77.9%. The trend has been declining nationally since the practice was declared illegal in Kenya in September 2011. However, many still practice secretly.
We talk to everybody, including boys, because at the end of it all, if we don't talk to boys on the effects of female genital mutilation, they will force these girls to be cut so that they can marry them.
And on this day, Agnes and Mercy are the voices of hope to their peers and younger generations.
Praise God. Amen. Ningependa kuambia tena Ngoilale yenye hapa. Maisha yako ni yako peke yako.
And so the first phase of the reconciliation has gone well as their peers and the congregation warmly embrace them, more so express pride in them. But will the community in its entirety embrace this change?
We thought, by the way, these girls are now growing up, they have not been cut, And maybe in their minds, they are waiting for a day that they will be called a grown-up. So we take these girls into a 5-day seclusion where we educate them on the effects of female genital mutilation, making sure that these girls have really known the effects of female genital mutilations. The girls we take through the alternate rites of passage are those girls that the parents have agreed that their girls are not going to be cut.
From church, the journey to the final reconciliation proceeds. The girls are heading to a different location from where they had escaped from. Being a pastoralist family, their family has since moved in search of pastures for their cattle. They know they're close when they meet their stepsister waiting by the road. This is a sister who did not escape mutilation. The reunion is heart-rending. When we finally get to the homestead, emotions run even higher. It's hard to imagine what's going on through Kapei Oleletura's mind. He sees his long-lost daughters for the first time in half a decade. The embraces and tears of joy from their family members telling one thing, that there's no love lost. The reconciliation ceremony is officiated by officials from Taru, the Children's Office of Narok County, as well as local authorities led by the chief. Highlighted by the signing of a binding agreement where the parents declare that they would not subject the girls to FGM nor marry them off early.
Very good.
Sasa hivi saa hii yeye mwenyewe ilisema tumeshukuru kwa watoto wake, hata watoto wake mkibaki hapa mtabaki kukaa na yeye, hata keketwa, hata patiana na tutapatia asome. Yeye mwenyewe umesema hivyo. Umefurahia sana sana sana. Na mimi chief, siku hizi wakati huu sisi tumesema kukeketwa watoto na kupatiana ama kupata mimba hatutaki. Mkifanya hivyo ama mkiona msichana amefanya hivyo, sisi tunaweka pingu msena, mtaenda kusaki huku kule.
Unakula kiapa mbele ya Mungu na yako haiwezi. Kwa sababu unaendelea kukata hauna maana. Sina sherehe, sina nini. Kikatwa tu nusu, hiyo ni nini? Si ni kuharibu tu jina ya Mungu. Ikikata nusu, si ni kuharibu tu jina ya Mungu. Nilisimama kwenye haba ya Mungu ajosi rudia kufanya hiyo.
After 6 years without my parents, I felt happy and loved because my parents received me. Yes.
But even with the emotional reconciliation, Mercy and Agnes are still not comfortable staying back. They are especially happy with the opportunity Tasaru offers them to advance their education. So they're going back to the center. But one day, they will come back home, they say, bolder and more empowered.
Ninaweza tu kuambia wamama, hiyo ni wakati nilipita, ni kazi ambaye. Unajua siku hizi gitari, saa zingine usiku, hata hakuna sherehe. Zamani ndio yenyewe ilikuwa heri ya amo. Unaitana, unasanyika, unakula nini. Siku hizi hakuna raha. Ninaweza kuambia utuache hii. Amo, ni wakati tu ya ni mwili tu ndio inaharibu.
As the Letura sisters forge to greater possibilities, the question of whether this community is winning its struggle with a long-lasting tradition lingers. For now, the story of two courageous Maasai girls who stood up for themselves has just turned over a new chapter. Sharon Momanyi, KTN News, Narok County.